Good morning students. This is your Maths 1 online teaching session. Today also we will continue with our fourth chapter, that is Ratio and Proportion part 5. Today I will be teaching you a new concept, that is Theorem of Equal Ratio. Now what is it? Let us understand it. If A upon B is equal to C upon D, then A upon B is equal to A plus C upon B plus D is equal to C upon D. This property is nothing but theorem of equal ratio. Now I have just read it once. Let us try to understand this with the help of an example. Suppose I have given equal ratios here like this. These are equal ratios. A upon B is equal to C upon D. Same way I have given you equal ratio. X upon 3 is equal to Y upon 5. Then what does this theorem says? Then the individual ratios A upon B and C upon D is nothing but the addition of the numerators and the denominators. So A plus C upon B plus D. Okay. So what is this? Let us understand it here with the help of this example. X upon 3 is equal to Y upon 5. These are equal ratios. It means that this individual ratios is equal to the sum of the numerators, that is x plus y, and sum of the denominators, that is 3 plus 5. So it will be x plus y upon 8. I hope you are understanding it. This is nothing but theorem of equal ratio, that the numerators can be added as well as this also can be written as, see this also can be written as, if it is A upon B and that is equal to C upon D, this can also be equated to A minus C upon B minus D. It's not that always it is added, it can be subtracted also like this. Okay, I hope this concept is clear now. Okay, based on this we are going to solve practice set 4.4. Okay, first question, fill in the blanks. Now this is like an activity question, just have a look here. X upon 7 is equal to Y upon 3. Question asked is, then 3x plus 5y upon a box here, what should come here? And 7x minus 9y, what should come here? These are the two things that they are asking us. So now what is to be done? I will explain you the first part here. See, it is x upon 7. Yes, x upon 7 is equal to y upon 3. Now, this x is multiplied with what? 3. Okay, it means that I want 3 here. So, this you multiply by 3 and this you multiply by 3. Numerator and denominator both. This y is multiplied by 5. So, this you multiply by 5 and this also you multiply by 5. So, what do you get here? You get here as 3x plus 3x upon, yes, what you will get? 3x upon 21 and this will be 5y upon 15. I hope this is understood to you how we are getting this. This is what I was explaining. See, x is multiplied by 3. This is multiplied by 3. So this also is multiplied by 3. Okay, that is the reason it is done here. 3 into 7. Okay, the second part is what? Y is having 5. So this is multiplied by 5. So this also is multiplied by 5. That is the reason it is written as 3 into 5 or 5 into 3. Then when I apply theorem of equal ratio, it will be 21 plus 15, which is nothing but 36. So this is our first part of the answer. Okay, 36. Next part, 7x minus 9y. That part we will do. For that also, we require the basic ratio, that is x upon 7 is equal to y upon 3. Look at the coefficient of x. What is it? 7. So this is to be multiplied by 7. This is to be multiplied by 7. This coefficient of y, what is it? Minus 9. Correct? And this is what? Minus 9. Like this we can multiply. Okay. So what we will get here? 7 7s are 49. This is why we are writing here 49. And this is 3 into minus 9, that is 20, minus 27. Okay. Take the number, take the coefficient along with the sign and accordingly multiply. So denominator what we have? 49 minus 27. So what we will get as a final answer? 7x minus 9y upon 22. Okay. So the two parts of the answer for this question is 36 and 22. I hope you have understood it. When activity questions or sums based on theorem of equal ratio is asked, this has to be done in this way. Let us move to the next question. The next question is this, the third one. If a into y plus z is equal to b into z plus x is equal to c into x plus y, and out of a, b, c, no two of them are equal, then show that this is a ratio that I need to prove. Okay. Now this type of sums are lengthy, I agree, but it is having enough number of hints or clues I can give you so that it will become easy. What I have written here till now is just the given part, nothing extra. Okay, this is what is given to us. Clue to remember, I want you to write it to the margin wherever you are solving this sum, that when some such questions are asked, the clue to remember is divide throughout by a, b and c. All these ratios, all these terms you divide by a, b, c. This also by a, b, c. This is a clue to remember. Okay. So now when you divide, what will happen? A and A will get cancelled here. B and B will get cancelled here. C and C will get cancelled here. What is left is y plus z upon BC. Then z plus x upon, yes, what will be left? AC. And see here, it's written x plus y upon AB. I am cancelling these terms from all the ratios. I am dividing throughout by ABC. Once you get this, your immediate next step should be to equate it to k. Compulsory that whenever you are solving sums based on this type, you have to use the k method. If you don't write this k, 100% you are going to get it wrong. Okay, so equate it to k. Now how to proceed? Till here I hope everybody understood. Write what is given, divide throughout by ABC. Now how to proceed? Go back to the question. In the denominator, with a pencil you can open this bracket for your convenience. It is not compulsory. It is a clue or a hint which I am giving you. Open this bracket. You get it as AB minus AC. Now seeing this, I will take only those ratios which is having this in the denominator. See this one. AB is here. Then I want AC. Which one? This one. And I will equate it to K. That is the reason it is written here. See. It is AB minus AC. So AB is written first. K is equal to x plus y upon AB, and that is equal to z plus x upon AC. Why out of these three only these two are selected? Because here looking at the denominator, I came to know that I have to do AB minus AC. Okay, so after this, writing this, you put it from 1, and I have to use theorem of equal ratio. I told you first also that it is not that it is always to be added, it can be subtracted also. So in this particular case, I am subtracting it like this and then opening the bracket. Signs will change, this will become minus z and this also will become minus x. Okay, then the terms which can be cancelled, you cancel off. Minus x and plus x can be cancelled, and from here you take a common. So a into b minus c. What is left? K is equal to y minus z upon a into b minus c. Put it as equation number 2. I hope all the steps are clear. What is this now? Y minus z upon a into b minus c. Turn back to the question now. See, this is the first part of the question which I wanted to prove. Automatically I have got y minus z upon a into b minus c, and it is equated to k. Okay, I hope you are understanding it. For the next part, what should I do? Let us open the bracket here. I want BC minus BA. So out of these three ratios which are written here, which should I consider? First I should write BC, means this one. Correct? This ratio, which because it is having BC in the denominator. Then I want BA. Then which one? This one or this one? Of course this one. BA means AB. So you have to write this ratio equal to this ratio equal to K. And exactly same way as you have done for the first one, same way you have to do for the second part also. Okay, see this. This is what I was telling you. Okay, by theorem of equal ratio, subtract it, open the bracket. What will get cancelled? Plus y and minus y. What will be left is z minus x upon b into c minus a, and this is also equated to k. Put it as equation number 3. Now what is this part which I have got just now? Z minus x upon b into c minus a. This is the second part. Just see, automatically we have got this second part now, and it is also equated to k. Put it as equation number 3. I hope all the steps are clear, and the last part you might not find my help also, you require my help also. I hope you have understood it and you can do it. What you will do, you will open the bracket here, C into A minus C into B. Now which two ratios you will consider? C into A is AC and C into B is PC. So these two ratios, first this, then this, and that you will equate to K. And exactly same steps you will follow and try to get the next part. See this. This is what we have done in the previous one and numbered it as 3. Then the next one, I told you these two ratios is to be taken, equated to K, subtracted by theorem of equal ratio, open the bracket and subtract what can be done. What can be cancelled here? Minus Z and plus Z. What is left is X minus Y upon C into A minus B. And if you see, this is the third part of the ratio and it is also equated to K. So if everything is equated to K from 2, 3 and 4, what I can conclude? All the ratios are equal. Hence we have proved what we wanted. Trust me, this sum looks very lengthy. It is absolutely easy. Remember the two things which I have told you. The first clue was you have to divide throughout by ABC, and then for your convenience you open the bracket in the denominator, accordingly take that ratios. See, accordingly take that ratios. By theorem of equal ratio you subtract, you will get all the things equated to K, and hence you can conclude and get the final answer. Okay, so you write this and let us move to the next question. If x upon 3x minus y minus z is equal to y upon 3y minus z minus x is equal to z upon 3z minus x minus y, and x plus y plus z is not equal to 0, then show that the value of each ratio is equal to 1. This is much easier than what we have done. What you need to do is, first thing, whatever are the ratios given to you, yes, whatever are the ratios given to you, equate it to K. Once you have equated it to K, theorem of equal ratio you use, wherein you will add this numerators and add this denominators together. This is what is done in this step. By theorem of equal ratio, you will add the numerators together, add the denominators together. Then what? We need to write the like terms together. 3x minus x together. 3y minus y together. And 3z minus z and minus z together here. Okay. So these are like terms written together. Let us simplify it. It will be 3x minus 2x, 1x. 3x minus 2y, 1y. 3z minus 2z, 1z. Okay. So what is left now? X plus y plus z upon x plus y plus z. It is absolutely wrong method if you try cancelling it out like this individually. It can't be done. It is an expression, so you need to cancel it throughout like this, ones up. And you need to write this reason which was given here, that x plus y plus z is not equal to 0. Why it is important to write? Because if it is equal to 0, the denominator here will become equal to 0, and anything upon 0 is not defined. So that is the reason this condition has to be written, and you cancel, you get it as 1. See, again try to understand. This is the reason why I told you you have to write K everywhere. Suppose you forget this. You write the ratio, theorem of equal ratio you use, and you get this answer and get 1 also here. But does this mean that 1 is equal to all the ratios? We have to prove that each ratio is 1. That can be done only when each ratio is assumed as K, and by working out you will find that K is equal to 1. Try to understand. Each ratio is equal to K, and at the end we are getting K is equal to 1. Therefore I can conclude each ratio is equal to 1. So compulsory use K method, and this sum can be done like this. I hope you have understood it. Now this practice set 4.43 I have given you, I think this is 4.4. okay, I have given you few sums as home assignments or homeworks, and few sums are omitted. Since board are also omitted, and I have omitted this part, that is question number 4. So please make a note of it. These are 2 homework sums which you will do in your notebook just now. As soon as you finish this exercise practice set sums, you can continue with your homework sums and finish it off. Okay, I'll just discuss this homework sums with you, especially this part. See here, it is 6 minus 8 plus 14. Okay, now I'll give you a clue for this. 6 can be written as 3, 6 can be written as 3 into 2. Yes or no? Yes. Then 8 can be written as 4 into minus 2, because I want minus 8, correct? And 14 can be written as 7 into 2. Now I hope you have understood this. See this 3, 4 and 7 I have here. Okay, but in that place what I want 6 minus 8 and 14. So what I will do, I will multiply the first ratio by what? 2, because 3 is already there. I want 6, so I have to multiply 3 into 2 will give me 6. So the first ratio is to be multiplied by 2. Okay, same way look at the second one. Minus 8 I want, I have 4 here, so with what I will multiply? Minus 2. So here you will multiply by minus 2, so here also you have to multiply by minus 2, here also you have to multiply by 2, correct? Last ratio I have 7, but I want 14, with what I will multiply? 2. So here if I multiply by 2, here also I will multiply by 2. Like this you can get the answer when you use theorem of equal ratio. Okay. Second question is this: 5m minus n is equal to 3m plus 4n. It is easy provided you understand how to get the value of m upon n from here. Shift that m that side, it will be 5m minus 3m, that is 2m. Correct? Shift this n this side, it will be 4n plus n. How much? 5n. Correct? From this, if I want the value of m upon n, what is to be done? Shift this 2 down, it will be 5 upon 2. Once you have got the value of m upon n, to get these answers, if you have seen all the previous videos, you will be able to understand it, how to get to this 2 sub questions which I have asked you. Okay. Then the omitted questions are question number 3, sum number 3, 4, 5 and question number 4, 1 and 2. Okay. So please make a note of it. These sums are omitted and these 2 sums I have given you as homework sums. So with this we come to the end of this session as well as the end of this practice set. Meet you in the next session. Till then, thank you and goodbye.